Okay, we are finished with all of Unit 4. Today we're going to talk about what it looks like when all of your factoring is mixed together, because that's what it's going to look like on your test Wednesday. So next class, when we meet Wednesday, that's our big and final big test. So Wednesday, last test, last big grade. I think there's only one grade going to come in after the test Wednesday, one quiz, I think. It's going to be it. So these are the steps we're going to follow. So this is what it's going to look like when we get to the test, the kind of process you're going to use, and we're going to practice this in just a bit, okay? So first thing, every question you're going to ask yourself is there a common factor? Is there something common to every single term in the polynomial? So if it is, take it out, go to step 2. And if not, go directly to step 2 then. You're going to factor if possible. How you approach the factoring depends on how many terms there are. If there are 2 terms, you're going to look for what we called several times a difference of squares. And if there are 3 terms, you're going to factor keeping in mind FOIL. Now, on the assessment I gave you back today on the solving, you guys factored nicely, okay? So all those things you know about factoring, that's what we're going to use. So this is our approach, keeping those 2 steps in mind. All right, number 1, is there a common factor? Yes, there is a number that goes into 9 and 18. X is common to both of those terms, and Y is common to both of those terms. So my greatest factor of 9 and 18 is 9. My greatest factor of x to the second and x to the third is x to the second. And my greatest factor of y to the 7th and y to the 4th is y to the 4th. So if they all have x's, they all have y's, they all have a common number, that's my common factor. Then I divide. 9 divided into 18 is 2. X squared from x squared, so 2 from 2 is gone. Y to the 4th divided into y to the 7th, 4 from 7 leaves me 3. Plus 9 divided into 9 is 1. On my x's, 2 taken from 3 leaves me 1. And y to the 4th from y to the 4th is gone. I would not have to have the 1 there, but it certainly can be there. So if it's optional, that's up to you. There are times when it does have to be there. I don't know if we'll have any of those or not. We'll see. And then those 2 terms that I have in parentheses are not squares, so we're finished. That's all I can do on that question. All right, question 2. Is there a common factor to 121 and 81? No. So then how many terms do I have? I have 2 terms. 2 terms, remember, are those difference of squares most of the time. So 121x squared breaks to 11x and 11x. They have exactly the same factors. 81, 9 times 9. 1 gets a plus, 1 gets a minus. Difference of squares, always same firsts, always same lasts. 1's a plus, 1's a minus, and it doesn't matter which sign you put first. Remember on your calculator, if you don't know the square of those numbers, you can use that those buttons on your calculator to find that. You can also use your multiplication chart, but I don't think 121, yeah, 120 is one is in there, didn't it? That gave you a 12 by 12, yeah, it is. Okay, 3rd question. Is there something common to all 3 terms?
Yeah.
There's not. Because these 2 have an x, but this one doesn't.
Oh, I was thinking since there's a 2 in each one.
Yeah. But there's not a 2, there's an x squared, that 2 in the power.
Yeah.
Can do that.
I was thinking.
Okay. So then I have 3 terms. So this is my trial and error. So x squared is x times x. Positive at the end means my signs are the same, so I'm going to look to the middle. Plus and plus. 27 I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to give me 27. I only have two options. And then the option I'm looking for needs to give me that 12 in the middle. So 9 and 3 or 3 and 9. It doesn't matter which one comes first. So remember, this plus this has to equal that. So positive 9 and positive 3 equal positive 12. And that's how I know I'm right. Okay, next one. Common factor to everything? No. So then I go to my two parentheses. 2x squared. 2x squared only has one choice, 1 times 2. So 1x and 2x. Positive at the end means same sign. We know which ones by looking in the middle. So minus and minus. And then 12 has 3 choices. Again, you don't have to write your choices down unless you want to. If it's helpful, write them down. If not, don't write them down. I personally would pick an odd even pair. It doesn't mean I'm right, but that's what I'm going to start with. So I go with 4 and 3. And I check these kind by doing outer times outer. So positive 1 times negative 3. Inner times inner. Negative 4 times positive 2. Add these together. And I get negative 11, which is what I want in the middle. So then I know I'm right. So you can't shortcut checking these. You got to do outer times outer, inner times inner. All right, next question. Is there a common factor? Yes. I hope we know yes because they're both even numbers. So I can take out a 2. 2 divided into 2x squared leaves me 1x squared. Minus 2 divided into 128 is 64. Then I have 2 terms left. So 2 terms, difference of squares. So 2 comes down. X squared breaks into x times x. 64 into 8 times 8. 1 gets a plus, 1 gets a minus. So always difference of squares, same first, same last, plus and minus.
Wait, okay, how do you get the 1x?
I took 2 divided into 2.
Okay.
So 2 divided into 2 is 1,
Okay.
and then that x squared just came down.
Okay, and then you just did that with the 128.
And then I take 2 divided into 128 is my 64.
Alright.
Okay, my next one, common factor to everything? No. So 3 terms is my trial and error. So x squared, 1 choice, x times x. Minus at the end means 1 of each sign. It doesn't matter which one you place first. And then 45 has several possibilities. And again, if you know what it is, you don't have to list these or anything like that. 2 doesn't go in there, 3 does, 4 does not, 5 does, 9, 6 does not, 7 does not, 8 does not, 9 does, which means we're back to where we started. Okay, so then I get my pair. I'm looking for the ones that are going to give me negative 4 in the middle, which is going to be my 5 and 9. Since I want negative 4, I'm going to go negative 9, positive 4. Oh, I don't know why I said 4. 5. So negative 9, positive 5, give me my negative 4. So where you place the number matters. Okay, my next one. Is there a common factor common to everything? No. So 12 has 3 choices. Again, I like odd and even first, so I always try that first. So I'm going to go with 3 and 4. I don't know if I'm right. I'm going to try it. I'll come back if I need to change it. Minus at the end means 1 of each. And then 5 has just 1 choice. 5 times 1. So I try. Outer times outer. Inner times inner does not work. So my first step, what I would do is switch my 5 and 1. Is that how I had it before? No, it's not. Okay, and then outer times outer, negative 15, inner times inner, positive 4, that's negative 11, not gonna work. So 5 and 1 only had the one choice. Since that's not working, then I'm gonna go and try 6 and 2. Oops. And I try. Outer times outer, negative 10, inner times inner, positive 6, and that gives me a negative 4. But I want a positive 4, so what's my rule then? Switch the signs, good. So just make that one the minus and that one the plus, and it works. So it's trial and error. These 3-term ones, or try it, if it doesn't work, you try something else. All right, 3x squared, there's only one choice. 3x and 1x. Minus at the end means one of each sign. And then 14 has 2 choices. I like 2 and 7 best. And I try it. And I have outer is negative 6. Inner is positive 7. And that's positive 1. I'm looking at this thinking, I don't think this works. I must have something wrong in this one because that's not going to work either. Negative 21, positive 2. If I switch it, it doesn't help me because that's going to give me 1. I must have a typo on this because that's not going to work with 14 and 1 either. So bad example. I won't give you any like that on your test, okay? They're all gonna work. That one does not, I don't know, should have checked it. Okay, 2 more here. Common factor to everything, no. So 3 terms is trial and error. 9x squared, 2 choices. I like 3 and 3 best. Positive at the end means same sign, look to the middle. So plus plus. 25 has 2 choices as well. I like 5 and 5. And then I check. Outer times outer, 15x. Inner times inner, 15x. Add those together, and voila, I've got it. Positive 30. And last one. 3x squared, 1 choice. 3x and 1x.
Can we just try doing this one?
Is that the one I just tried to do?
Yeah.
No, it's different.
It is?
Mhm.
Just this.
Positive at the end means minus minus,
Oh, my bad.
and then 8 can be 1 times 8 or 2 times 4. Let's try that. Outer times outer, negative 12. Inner times inner, negative 2. Add these together, and I've got my negative 14. All right, some questions.